Welcome everyone to the 718th meeting of the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club. Yes, you heard me right. It is our 718th meeting. What that means is that we've been in existence for over 15 long years. And obviously that could have happened without the support of all of you in this room and all the members that have once been a speech weaver or is still a speech weaver. Thank you very much for that. And today we actually have a very interesting theme. And the theme is called the Universal Bond of Love, and it will be presented by our very own Toastmaster, the great Toastmaster Nazneen. But before we go into it, I think the most important thing that all of us must remember as part of any meeting is to follow a set of principles. That's right. You are supposed to follow some rules in this room. And that means Toastmaster Joseph, Toastmaster Kamini, Toastmaster Veera, Toastmaster Sai Shri, Toastmaster Deepa, Toastmaster Pranav, and Toastmaster Adarsh, myself, we are supposed to follow some rules in today's meeting. Number one, always make sure to keep your video on at all times, except when you're walking in and around the room. And number two, make sure to keep yourself unmuted at all times. I'm sorry, muted at all times. That's right, muted at all times, not unmuted, except when you're given the opportunity to speak. And it's also important that you always sort of applaud to see to it that everybody feels motivated. Maybe you can applaud, or you can probably give a thumbs up, or you can use one of those emojis. Maybe you can probably use one of these emojis. I think you see this up here, right? You can probably use one of those emojis to clap and sort of appreciate everybody around you. And those are some of the things that we can probably do to see to it that we keep the meeting going at all costs. And that's it. Those are things that you must actually remember. Oh, but hey, I forgot one more thing. Always ensure to not talk about sex, religion, or politics at any point of time during the course of the meeting to not hurt the sentiments of the audience sitting in this room. Now, with that said, you should know that we have a very colossal event in store today. We have a very interesting event. We have table topics. We have a set of prepared speeches, which will be presented by three of amazing speakers that we have at the club. And on that note, I'd like to go ahead and introduce you to someone very special in this room. He is the president of the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, and he's been the president of the Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club before as well. He is someone that has played numerous roles, and by the way, he is an A-grade actor at District 117 in North Carolina. And he is someone that possesses great skill and expertise when it comes to handling a meeting. He is none other than our very own Toastmaster, Joseph Felix Benedict. I'd like to introduce you to our presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Joseph Felix Benedict. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adarsh, for your amazing introduction. I bring to order the meeting number 718. A warm welcome to my beloved Toastmasters, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. When you come to Speech Weavers, you always have a takeaway, a sound knowledge, and entertainment. So much so, you always feel oneness in our meeting. You enjoy the meeting. So I once again warm welcome to each and every one of you. Today, according to the theme, they have exhibited in the poster Mother Teresa. So, Mother Teresa, who is she and what is her status? What was she has done to India and what was her ultimate goal? Actually, Saint Teresa of Calcutta, as she is known, was an Albanian-born Indian Roman Catholic missionary and nun who devoted her life to helping those most in need. She founded the Missionary of Charity in India in 1950, and for over 45 years, she ministered to the poor, sick, and orphan. What are the facts of this nun? She became a nun at the age of 18. She lived and worked in India for 17 years. She was a Nobel Prize winner. She had incredible organized skills, along with their compassion and love for humanity. What did Mother Teresa do for India? Mother Teresa founded the Order of the Missionaries of Charity, a Roman Catholic congregation of women dedicated to the poor and charity. What is inspiring in Mother Teresa? Through her compassion, Mother Teresa was able to save the lives of some of the poorest people in the world. Heroes are compassionate and care about others. And since Mother Teresa showed compassion through caring for the poor, she exhibits necessary quality of particularly to those in India that open numerous centers serving the blind, the aged, and the disabled. She said, quote, "If I ever become a saint, I will surely be one of darkness. I will continually be absent from heaven to light the light of those in darkness on earth." She said, according to Mother Teresa, "Come be my light," whose author described as a mission statement. Why is Mother Teresa inspiring? Through the compassion, Mother Teresa was able to save the lives of some of the poorest in the world. Heroes, compassionate and care about others. And since Mother Teresa showed compassion through caring for the poor, she exhibits the necessary qualities of the hero. Mother Teresa taught us the success of a society cannot be measured in GDP. A people glutted with things and enjoying surfeit of goods is not successful. If we don't have, she put it, the peace of heart which comes from loving, from doing good to others. She died at the age of 87. Now it is time for me to introduce our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster, one among the three newcomers who are the budding star of Speech Weavers. In particular, Toastmaster Nazneen, she has a journey of 3 years in Toastmasters, a lot of accolades, winning speeches and winning not only the speeches, but the heart of every member of the Toastmasters, wherever she goes and delivers a speech or as a role taker and so on and so forth. When I asked her to introduce, she says, "I am a Pangolesian, meaning relentlessly optimistic." Pangolesian, I never heard of it, maybe in the advanced dictionary of Oxford, but I can see Mongolians. The Mongolians are relentless attackers of India, the Somnath temple 7 times. She's also relentlessly optimistic. She said that to rust is rust. That is what you call the ferric oxide. I seek priority in negative, positive in negative. She is an entrepreneur by profession. Give us a round of applause to our Toastmaster Nazneen. Over to you, Toastmaster Nazneen.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, Sir Joseph Felix Benedict. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, I welcome you to Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club meeting number 718. Typical Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 sections. One section being definitely better speaking, that is prepared speeches. Second being better listening. Sorry, it's better thinking, that is impromptu section, the table topic session. And the next one is definitely better thinking, that is evaluation section. However, let's talk about universal bonding across the globe. What I would like to say is that many people believe that universal bond of love is to creating more peaceful and definitely a harmonious world by recognizing our common humanity and treating each other with respect, irrespective of nation, culture, and everything. Let's all get together towards moving forward and just be an equitable society. Moving further without wasting any more time, because time is precious. I now would like to request that we have amongst ourselves a hawk's eye.
Excuse me, one second, Nazneen, 1 second. I would like to speak in the last, if you don't mind, for some reason. You can go for the second speaker.
Okay, fine. Noted. Okay, so before I start off with the tag team that we have amongst ourselves, a person who is a hawk's eye. I will not be revealing out the name. Definitely, that hawk's eye is recording each and everything that is happening in the meeting. To your information, we are in the 99th year of Toastmasters. Can we have a big round of applause? And we are entering the 100th year, that is going to be 2024. So how many of you are planning to visit California, Santa Ana, California? Raise the hands. Okay. They do have hybrid also.
We'd love to.
That's great. That's really right. Good. Okay, fine. So this Ralph Street Medley started off in 1924 in October, and therefore next year we'll be celebrating the 100th centurion year. I'm sure we all are excited, and all around the world, celebrations have already started, especially in Santa Ana, California, Colorado. So what I would like to mention is there are 145 plus clubs with 3 lakh and more members, and the clubs, countries, and definitely the clubs across the world are around 16,000 plus. Now let's move about to the prepared speech session. This is going to be a twist this time because of May 1st was celebrated as Love Day. So the first speaker, first evaluator, for the first speaker is the bold and the beautiful.
Nazneen, apologies for interrupting. Nazneen, apologies for interrupting. You have to take the introduction of the general evaluator.
I'll be taking.
Apologies for that.
So
Over to you.
The general evaluator, I'll come up to the end. The Toastmaster, that is, first we'll have the timer, definitely for sure, that is me. And now is the R counter. This R counter is something where AI has entered Speech Weavers. Can we have a round of applause for Deepa, the AI of Speech Weavers? This is the first time that we are going to have Yudli as the R counter. and she's also going to be the grammarian. Can I request Deepa to read out her, role? Definitely, for sure.
A very rainy, cloudy evening to everybody here at Speech Weavers, at least most of you here in Bangalore who are experiencing the cloudy weather. I'm the grammarian today, and I'll be keeping a tab on all the right usages and the not so right usages in the English language. I'll also keep a keen ear on mispronounced words and offer the corrections, necessary corrections. As part of every meeting, we have a word of the day, and today's word of the day in line with the theme is mollycoddle. Mollycoddle is a verb, and it means, just give me a second. It means to show extreme, intense indulgence and attention to someone, an excessive one. An example of usage is the teacher refused to mollycoddle her students, or the mother refused to mollycoddle her children, which means indulge them excessively. I wish you all use the word of the day in your speeches as you take up spaces in the meeting. And if somebody uses the word of the day as a mark of encouragement, let us show a thumbs up. With that, I would like to hand back the stage over to Nazneen.
Thank you, grammarian, Toastmaster Deepa, for that lovely words. She's also the R counter. AI is replacing the R counter first time in the history of Speech Weavers. This is a milestone meeting, definitely, for sure.
Yes, thank you. Thank you again, Nazneen. Just to let you all know how the AI is taking over the role of R counter, we often realize that R counter is a very tedious role. While we could enjoy speeches, we have to note down all the R's, ums, but, if so. So we have decided to take the help of Udly, which makes sure every crutch word, every hedge word, every repetition is noted with precision. And that is where I have been recording our meeting through the Udly platform. And I will be sharing the report to each one of you all through email, so that you can just click on your name and find out which word was your favorite word. So this is something that we're using Udly with and augmenting our meetings to increase efficiency as well as precision. Over to Nazneen.
Thank you so much, Deepa, for these encouraging words and being the ambassador for Udly for Speech Weavers. Thank you so much. So let's jump into the prepared speech section. There is going to be a twist. The evaluator is none other than the bold and the beautiful Toastmaster Kamini Sharma. But I'm not going to introduce her. I'll throw open a question and she's going to introduce herself. So the question for our evaluator, the first evaluator, is: what is the role of vulnerability in love, and how can we learn to embrace it more fully? Over to you, Toastmaster Kamini Sharma.
So I quickly want to check with you, Toastmaster of the Day, that my target speaker requested that he would go in the last. So you're calling me up first. Is that okay? Like he'll be going as the first speaker?
Others is fine, it's fine, right?
Yes. Nazneen, to give you an idea, our the speaker, Joseph, sir, will be going last. He'll be going third. So the first speaker will be Richa. The evaluator for Richa is Pranav, as per the agenda that's given. And the second speaker will be, is Deepa. And I think you'll be able to find that out in the agenda. So
fine. Got it. So
I'll come up with the answer though, Nazneen, when my turn comes. Thank you.
I'll change the question. Okay, so the first speaker is Toastmaster Richa, and the evaluator for Toastmaster Richa is Toastmaster Pranav. Pranav, there is a question for you. Before I introduce you, there's a question for you. The question is, how does the concept of time affect our experience of love? And how can we love someone across different stages of life?
We know that time is a very precious aspect. That too in any cases of life, even in case of love. Do you know that you can miss a loved one because you have wasted time? Sometimes, if you don't express your love to your near and dear ones at the moment it is needed, maybe you will regret when they are gone long after some time. I have had an experience. I remember few years ago when my grandmother passed away. When I got that call, I was really shocked because I just remember how much I missed because of my busy schedule, the opportunity to go and stay with her during my holidays. But that moment I saw her when she was dead, it was a very bad experience for me and I regret that a lot. So I think time is a very important aspect in any walks of life, including love.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
over to you.
Toastmaster Pranav Potan is working as an analyst in French company in Bangalore. His hobbies include reading books and playing badminton. And he's looking for opportunities to speak and take roles and develop public speaking and leadership skills through Toastmasters. Can you please provide the guidelines for Toastmaster Richard?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. My target speaker, Richa, she is delivering her level 1 project to speech in the path presentation mastery, and its title is Writing a Speech with Purpose. And the project purpose is, the purpose of this project is to learn or review the basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well organized speech on any topic. Best of luck to my target speaker. Over to you.
So the speaker is attempting, as Toastmaster Pranav said, Richa, the stage is all yours. Toastmaster Richa, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Nazneen. Count your age by friends, not years. Count your age by friends, not years. Count your life by happiness, not years. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Today, I got a very beautiful topic to speak about, that is the pursuit of happiness. Before I start with my speech, I would like to ask a question to all of you. What is happiness? Well, you can go ahead, Deepa.
An attitude and emotion.
Yes. So the happiness is the joy and the feeling, and the positive state of mind. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Happiness is not the destination. Happiness is the journey. How we can, so if you want to be happy, how we can do that? So do not dwell into past. Do not worry about future. Do not dwell into past. Do not worry about future. Stay focused into and live your present. How can we celebrate life's little moment and pursue the happiness? Here are a few tips that I learned from my life, and today I'll be going to share them with you. The first tip is take time to appreciate small things in life. It could be as simple as beautiful sunset, a cup of coffee, a food, and a smile from a stranger. When we learn to appreciate these small things in our life, we start to see the world with more positive lights. The second tip that I am going to share with you is celebrate milestones, no matter how small they may seem. Whether it's a good grade in school, finishing a project at work, and going through a tough day. These small victories are worth to celebrate because they remind us that we are capable enough to achieve anything in our life. I remember a memory from my college. I felt a lot of stress and anxiety during my exams, and I hope you also feel the same. So one semester when I completed with my exams, I decided to do something different. And instead of going at my home, I went to my cousin's place, which is next door from my home. That place was having a small room where we all crammed into a small room filled with pillows, blankets, and mattresses. At first, we sat around and we chatted, but later, someone put on the music. Before we knew it, we all started dancing, laughing, and having great time together. And only on that day, I got to know that we humans and monkeys have the same ancestor. As my brother was jumping from here to there, here to there. So that room was not meant to hold more than 10 people, but only on that day I got to know that this is the box filled with love and happiness. The third point that I want to share with you is spend time with loved ones and make memories. Whether it's a family vacation, a night out with your friends, uh, or alone time at alone evening at home. These uh, these love and happiness moments are priceless. Uh, I remember from the memory when I spent. I remember from the memory or the time that I spent at my grandparents' home. I'm grateful for the time that I had with my family and the love and delicious food my grandmother, my nanny shared with us. Her food was delicious and out of this world. It isn't because of the flavors and aromas that filled in the air. It is because of the love and blessings that she poured into the food that she made. The fourth tip that I want to share with all of you is practice gratitude and focus on positive aspects of life. When we focus on positive, when we focus on what we have instead of what we lack, we create the sense of abundance and fulfillment in our life. So each day, take time to reflect the things that you are grateful for, whether it's a health, your family, your house, or your relationships. In conclusion, I would like to say that while exam season can be stressful and challenging, but important thing to remember is happiness is always within reach. By focusing on small joys and pleasures within a life, we can find the moments of love and happiness that sustain us in our tough times. So I encourage all of you to take time to dance, to laugh, and to live or enjoy the little pleasures of your life. And one thing to remember that happiness is not a destination, it is the journey that we embark on every day. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Nazneen.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. I was thinking that pursuit of happiness, you're going to talk about Chris Gardner, and we are going to listen about Will Smith saying that, yes, if I don't know anything, I'll go and find out, and I'll just get back to you. Thank you, and can we have a round of applause to Toastmaster Richard? Toastmaster Adarsh, you will be the evaluator. Once Toastmaster Pranav presents his evaluation. Yeah. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Deepa. And to actually evaluate her, we have got amongst ourselves DTM Kritika Sopti. Now, Kritika Sopti, it's a pleasure to have you in our club when it's a milestone meeting as Udly has been introduced into Speech Weavers. Therefore, I'm going to throw open a question to you before I introduce you. So, what do you think? Can we truly love without just experiencing love from others, or is it the other way around?
Thank you, Toastmaster Nazneen. I presume the question is, what is it that we can truly love without?
Expecting anything from others.
Okay, what we can truly love without expecting anything. I think that would be love for your family. There is nothing which can surpass that. Family is your one thing which is for granted. You love them without having any qualms on what they give back to you. You tolerate them without all their plus and minus. You just don't have anything on them. It's unconditional and it's just overwhelming at times how much one person can feel for the other. So it's family. It's always family. Back to you, Toastmaster Nazneen.
Thank you so much. The DTM Kritika Sopti, she's by profession, she's a senior cybersecurity researcher, restricts hobbies, interests, loves to read and dance, and currently she's holding the position of District Logistics Manager, Coordination Chair. So all of you, have you booked your tickets? I'm sure you have. Yes, if not, do it now.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So can we have the guidelines for Toastmaster Deepa?
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Nazneen. Today, Toastmaster Deepa would be attempting her level 4 speech, the project title being Write a Compelling Blog. Timer, please note, it will be a 2 to 3 minute speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to review or introduce the skills needed to write and maintain a blog. The purpose is also for the member to share some aspects of her experience maintaining a blog. I repeat, timer, please note, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. And with this, back to you, Toastmaster Nazneen.
Thank you, DTM Kritika. Now we have amongst ourselves the star of Speech Weavers, Toastmaster Deepa. So the stage is all yours, Deepa. And the question I'm going to throw open to you is, you don't need introduction, definitely for sure. The question that I'm throwing open is, can you love someone without fully understanding them? If so, how?
I believe we cannot understand anybody fully. We do not understand ourselves fully. And therefore, we can love anybody without understanding fully. So that's my only answer. And I would say love is something that just comes in sometimes. You just can't create it sometimes. It just happens. You fall in love, they say. I believe it's true. And it's a deep emotion which sustains us, which makes us our lives worthwhile. And it also makes us understand another person better. It is one of the motivations to understand a person better or a thing better, whether be it a subject, an animal, or a person. It just motivates us to learn about them better.
Okay, good way of saying now. You just elaborated what is a now. Thank you so much for that. That shows that you were there in the contest and you were listening to DTM Nancy Goel when she said about now. Yes. Over to you, Deepa. The virtual stage is all yours.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, do you know how late I am to the blogging world? Do you know when the first blogs were introduced? Anybody? Do you know which year the blog was introduced to the world? It was in 1999. Peter Marhol started it. It was a way of every person in the world contributing without creating a website of his own, writing his personal diary over a web which could be shared everywhere. So this was definitely before the age of social media, before the day of microblogging, where just 140 characters mattered. In 2003, Google acquired this platform from Pyrolabs called Blogger. And that is where I started my journey in 2022 on a blog and decided, let me explore this medium. And thanks to Toastmasters project. So one of the first things I must tell you all is blogging is discipline. Blogging is joy. Blogging is effort. Blogging is reflection. If you want to experience them all, you need to blog. I decided to name my blog with my own name, deepasampathkumar.blogspot.com, because that was the only thing that felt unique, as well as something that was available in the blogging world. And the subject that I decided to choose to write about was public speaking, because I was passionate about it, and I wanted, not because I knew more about it, because I wanted to know more about it. Writing enabled me to explore simple and subtle ideas that I come across and delve deeper. So my first blog was about how it all began. How did the interest in public speaking began? And I went back to my childhood and went to the first time I grabbed the mic and recollected what I felt then and when it started accelerating. That was my first blog, and how the fear of public speaking crept in as a child, how it evolves as an adult. This was a very personal account in my first blog. And gradually, as I moved on, I wrote about a book review, about TED Talks, a book that I really liked, and I wanted my audiences to learn about. And subsequently, I came across something called ableist language through Udly. Now, what is ableist language? And I wanted to explore it and showcase one of the most common things that we're all guilty of doing. And I explored it. So blogging became my tool of sharing with the world what I felt personally and persuading people to look into how I felt about things. And I also learned a lot of things through blogging about Google Analytics, about how many people are really reading, how many people are engaging, how many people are just bouncing out, just looking at my title. And with that, I realized, is my writing engaging enough? Because at the end of the day, we write not for ourselves, but we write for others. I can share my analytics report, but I think we are a little short on time. But now so you can have create an account in Google Analytics, create a property account, and then you can look at which device they're using, which countries they're logging in from, how many web pages they are visiting. All of these are something that I realized through my blogging journey. Throughout this journey of me blogging a few articles during the period, I came across a lot of people still interested in beyond 140 characters. They supported me, and one person particularly supported me so much that he worked in a web hosting company. He offered a free website. He said, shift on from blogger to a website, create your own website and start writing. And he supported me on that. So this is how things shape up, we come across different people, we hear about what they believe about the subjects that I write about. So it's a very interesting platform of self-reflection, discipline, and deep dive into a subject of interest. I encourage you all to take up this wonderful hobby, or which could turn into a profession even, of blogging. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepa, for that wonderful insight about blogging. I'm sure many people will be interested in going on for blogging, because that's the in thing that's happening today. Now, since we are done with all the speakers for the day, now we will jump straight into table topics.
Nazneen, Toastmaster Joseph is yet to present the speech.
Pardon?
Toastmaster Joseph sir is yet to present the speech, and spotlight Joseph.
Okay, fine. Yes, sir. Joseph, you can go ahead. You're muted.
The evaluator has to present the speech prospectus. The evaluator. Please call the evaluator to present the Nazneen. You have to call the evaluator to read the prospectus of the speech. Others,
Yes.
can you?
Yes, Joseph sir. Just one. Yeah, Nazneen, I hope you can hear us.
Yes, I can, but the flow goes this way, right?
So you call the evaluator first. You call the evaluator, then you call the speaker. The
Okay,
evaluator
so
to present the speech.
Toastmaster Pranav, can you just evaluate the evaluator?
No, it is a Toastmaster Kamini, Toastmaster Nazneen. Kindly check the agenda given to you. I think it is a Toastmaster Kamini who will be presenting her evaluation on Toastmaster Joseph. So you'll have to call a Toastmaster Kamini to present the speech objectives for Toastmaster Joseph, and then you have to call Toastmaster Joseph.
So
I hope you got it.
I hope it's changed. Is it the order?
Not exactly. It is the usual order.
Only of the row position.
Okay. Okay, so we are having the evaluations first, and then we are having the table topics next. That's it, right?
So we'll have the prepared speeches, then we'll have the table topics, and then we'll have the evaluation. So in the prepared speech, the pattern works in such a way where you call on the evaluator to state the speech objectives, then you call the speaker, and then so on and so forth, and then you call the table topics master as part of the table topics.
The general evaluator, and he calls upon each evaluators to evaluate with the tag team. That is
absolutely how yes.
Yes, according to TI, that is the rules. So that is what I'm following. So shall we continue with the TI rules, or do we create our own rules?
Over to you.
Yeah, I think
what the confusion is, sorry for interrupting. What the confusion is that Joseph sir requested his speech to be placed last. So Kamini is the evaluator for his speech. So she has to read out the speech objectives. Otherwise, the general evaluator will come after the table.
That's right. Yes. Thank you. Thanks so much. So, Toastmaster Kamini, could you please provide the evaluation for Toastmaster Joseph?
Absolutely. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Nazneen. So my target speaker today is attempting his project 2 from level 1 in the path leadership development. The purpose of this project is for the member to write and deliver a speech with a definite purpose. What I will be looking, and also when he's presenting the speech could be a humorous speech, the speech could be an informational speech, or any other style of writing that he wants to deliver. Now, as an evaluator, there are a few points that I will be looking out for, which is his clarity of the content, his comfort level in the delivery, and some non-verbal elements during the delivery. I would like to tell the timer, please note the duration of this speech today is 5 to 7 minutes, and kindly display the cards accordingly. I'll just reiterate: green at 5, yellow at 6, and red card would be displayed at 7, and will stay on till the speaker finishes his speech. So it's all the best to my target speaker, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kamini. You actually are not going to escape from the question. The question is going to be different now. What are the similarities and differences between love that we have for our family and the love we have for the love in our life?
Okay, so of late, my understanding about love has evolved, and I would like to put it across this way, that love at the end of the day is a unity. And no matter where you're giving love, but then what matters is that when you're offering your love to someone, offer it with a selfless kind of an attitude. Because if you're hooking on expectations there, then that's the time where you are inviting trouble for your own self. So either be it the family, if you're doing something for them, if you're loving them, let that be a selfless act of the emotion. And even when you're involved with your partner, accept them and just offer the emotion as it is. So love pretty much is an emotion which I would say is selfless. So there's not much difference, because your family supports you, your partner supports you. They're pretty much similar, according to me. And that's it. Thank you so much for the question. I think most of the work we need to understand. We make love complicated. Love is pretty easy, but humans kind of complicate it along the way. So we need to work on our own selves, and I guess we'll be having more of love in our life then. Thank you. I spoke long, but thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And Toastmaster Joseph, the virtual stage is all yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again. How many of you as a parent would like to have your children online classes? Can you raise your hand? How many would like to have your children to go to the school and learn there? Okay, it looks fair enough, that 50-50. But I tell you the repercussion of the online education. Usually, online education is always on the internet, and all of education, examination, and everything is right from the comfort of your home. You are attending, and at the same time, even the teachers at the comfort of the home, they teach you. Everything that goes on smoothly as long as it is due to a comfort that you are feeling. But what is the effects as you go on and on and on? What are the screen time that your child is facing? How many of you had seen a complaint from your child stating that my eyes is paining, my back is paining, I have a headache, I have a giddiness? How many parents are who really understood that feeling, that trouble that the child is taking? There is one example. A father called his son. Dean, stop that looking into the mobile. He did not listen because he has put a ear. Again, the father called. Neil, I told you, drop the mobile. Yes. It was very difficult for him to do that because he is already addicted to that. Result is, he complained a year ago that he has a eye pain, sometimes also headache. How many of you, the children of yours, or whoever they are, the grandchildren of yours, has complained to you? Can you raise your hand? Yes. Put all the children together. And that is my grandson. He has already suffered in such a way. Today, they have taken him to the hospital, and the doctor has prescribed a cylindrical eye lens for him. What is his age? He's just 12 years old. I put my eyeglass at the age of 45. That too because I did not care for the ultraviolet rays, which is very high in Saudi Arabia, resulting to straight away 2.5 short distance. So one has to see that how much of the suffering, it is the comfort of the home is good. Some people are now complaining backache. This is not only true to the schools, even to the corporate offices also. Everybody is going to the specialist, showing their spinal, backache. Their age is very, very less. They are below 30. It is a disproportionate way of health is being graduated in such a way. Only the doctors are earning money while you are spending the money, whatever you are earning, to the doctors. You are not earning money anymore if you are in this kind of sickness. In the same way, in the education is also, there are so much of distress, so to say. The boy is suffering, the girl is suffering, whoever are suffering, they're putting the glass, headache. These things are not at that age at all. So what does the government has to do? What does the school has to take care? The school has to take care and see that you are given a sort of practical exercises every 2 hours of the curriculum. So the timing, 8 hours at a stretch, you make the child to sit down, harassing him with his health. It would be better every quarter of the hour has to be given a simple exercise or some sort of entertainment to the child, so that the child does not look into the screen all the time. It will also spend some time in keeping his health and care in such a way that he will not feel backache, he will not strain his eye. Now the message is clear. Someone who in authority should think of this one. Parents, write down to the authorities and see that your children are safe. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joseph Felix Benedict, for that great insight, because today's kids definitely, and we ourselves are so addicted to to AI, and it's entered the world just like that, because nothing enters into the in our world without a curse. But there are also pros and cons. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get on with better thinking. And for better thinking, we have amongst ourselves and table topics master who is working as a silicon validation engineer at Texas Instruments. He loves languages, food, books, and above all, meeting new people. He's currently serving as Area D4 Director, GTM Veera Shant Ram M. And before I ask you to take over, I would like to throw upon, you're not going to be blessed, so you're going to be throw upon a question about what do you think about this topic? How does the experience of falling in love differ from the experience of being in love? And what can we learn from each of these experiences and stages?
Okay, first of all, am I hearing an echo? Just a second.
Yes.
Please excuse me. I hope it is clear now. No echo.
No.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Nazneen. I wish I'm a DTM already, but I'm not a distinguished Toastmaster yet. I'm still Toastmaster Veera. And to answer your question, okay, so in my experience, falling in love and experiencing love, I can only speak about one particular thing that I am in absolute love with, that is food. And in particular, there is one particular Tamil dish called Pongal. And the moment I fell in love with Pongal, that was when I was experiencing it for the very first time in my life. And I have had it several times in my home, but when I had it for the first time outside my home as a prasadam in temple, that was when I felt, okay, so a Pongal can be made in these many different ways. And I came back, and from then on, my weekends went on perfecting the art of making the best Pongal ever. And I'd like to self-proclaim myself as the Pongal master. And yes, I have been experiencing love with Pongal every single weekend nowadays. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And the virtual stage is all yours. Table topics master. Can we have a round of applause, please?
Thank you so much. Very good evening, people. I hope you're all set. And today's theme is so beautiful. We are talking about love, and our Toastmaster of the day is already conducting a table topic session, a mini table topic session for everyone who's coming up on stage. So let me try to have some few different topics, some fun topics as well. So here's how it's going to work. In table topics, I will be giving a topic. I mean, you can volunteer for being the table topic speaker. And as soon as I give the title of the speech, you can take some 10 to 15 seconds to collect your thoughts. And you're expected to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. 30 seconds may be the buffer time. And our timer will be showing the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. So please keep a note of that. And yes, before even we started the table topic session, we had one person pinging me already saying, hey, I want to be the table topic speaker. So Toastmaster Monish, I appreciate your enthusiasm. And yes, let me quickly share my screen. I'd like to get a confirmation from you all if my screen is visible. Can anyone unmute and confirm, please? I couldn't see any of you.
Yes, okay. It's visible.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So the universal bond of love. Love is everywhere. Love is around the corner. Love is in the air. So we have heard a lot of sayings. So here comes the first topic to you, Toastmaster Monish. If you were to write a note to your loved one, because it is often said that, especially in India, we don't really express our love verbally that often. So if there is a note which you would like to say to your loved one, go ahead and take the stage for a minute to two, and it's all yours to give a note to your loved one. It could be anyone in your life. Over to you.
Good evening, everybody. When you have given this topic to me, I recall my young days. That time, I wrote a note to a girl but I didn't have the courage to talk to her. I thought for a few days what to do. I used to have just a round of that girl home. Even she was also interested, but I didn't have the courage, confidence. Because of lack of confidence, I didn't say directly what I want to say to her. Friend of mine gave me an idea that instead of saying something directly, maybe she can retaliate. It's better to write a note and give it to her. And what I did, I wrote a note that I love her, whatever I want to write regarding her. That time, I used to speak broken English. I used to write broken English, and she was from convent school. And that also, I had an vision that maybe she would mock, she would laugh. And if she reads, if I've written something wrong, I took the help of somebody else also. And I took the help. I told the guy to write like this, and I myself have written few lines. Then I knew that she stand near to her wall, and that time the walls were not too long, tall, and I kept the note on that wall. And that girl has come to know that I kept that note over there. And after some time, when she noticed, nobody was there to watch because her house was on the roadside. She picked up and she had a smile on her face. But that time, we were not that naive. We can understand that love is from the both sides. And because of that note, after that, I got an opportunity to speak to her because I have come to know that she is interested. And that note, when you have given me this topic, I recall each and everything, whatever has happened at that time, the incident in my life. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Wow, perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Monish. I hope I'm on. Yeah. I absolutely loved you came back to your olden days and you literally described every single event that happened during that time. And it always makes our memory fresh, thinking about all those uh, beautiful moments that had happened during our school times or college days. So thank you so much for sharing, Toastmaster Monish. And I have also got another nomination up for Table Topics Next. Do we have Toastmaster Marutesh with us?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Hello, Toastmaster Marutesh. Here comes your topic. Yes. In your opinion, what is the perfect Saturday evening looking like? So let's just say usually Saturday evenings are for different reasons for different people. They would have different things lined up. But according to you, what is a perfect Saturday evening? Over to you.
Thank you, Table Talk Master. Yeah, weekend, every weekend, people used to plan some occasion to travel some nearest places. In my life also, during my college days, I used to stay in hostel, and whenever the Saturday came, I used to come for my home by traveling, taking my bike, and I used to come for my home for more than 100 kilometers. That is my routine in my college days. Now I'm staying in the house, and now this Saturday for me is it will be very. I feel I'll plan any places nearest to visit and second Saturday and the fourth Saturday will be leave for me. That day also I used to have some plan from the different places I used to visit, or I used to go for any friend's house. Like that, I used to spend my Saturdays. Thank you. Back to TMoD.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Marutesh. And yes, again, people who love traveling, we would want every single weekday evening to go ahead and travel to places that we love. So I absolutely agree with you. Thank you so much. And for the next topic, actually, I need not one, I need two speakers to come up on stage. Is anyone up for volunteering? Okay, I see Vandana. Thanks, Vandana. Is there anyone else who wants to go along with or against Vandana, probably? Okay, we see Richa there. Perfect. All right. So the next topic for Toastmaster Vandana and Toastmaster Richa, it is going to be a debate, and I want you both to debate on Valentine's Day is overrated. One of you all can take yes, it is overrated, and the other can defend no, it is not overrated. So is Valentine's Day overrated? Over to you, Toastmaster Vandana and Richa. A request for the timer. We can keep the timing as 3 minutes for this, considering there are two speakers. Yeah.
I would like to go with yes.
Okay.
Like,
so, Vandana,
yeah.
that means you will have to defend. It is not overrated. Okay. Over to you.
Yeah. So, as one of our speaker mentioned, like love is very simple, but sometimes we make it very tough. So love is not a thing that we can celebrate in just 7 days or a single day. It is a thing that we celebrate in each day or of every year. So we cannot limit ourselves with a week that is specially made for Valentine's Day. That is the strategy I heard from some of the blog where it's been said, like it is the strategy from some of the famous toy shop. Hamlet, something like that is there. So they want to sell out their products on some great prices. So that's why they created these Valentine's Day and this kind of stuff. But love is not something which can be celebrated within a week. It should be celebrated each day and every moment of it. Over to you.
I'll let Toastmaster Vandana counter that, and we'll get back to you for your closing remarks. Back to you, Toastmaster Vandana.
Imagine being married for 6 years and, struggling with working and raising my 5-year-old and having to work from home, being an extrovert, not being able to go out. What is the kind of atmosphere that we have? We're trying to manage things at home, making sure she eats food, and we forget about us, me and my husband. We forget about us. We forget to say, I love you. A lot of times I struggle with motherhood. So I'm okay if we decide to celebrate Mother's Day, if we decide to celebrate Valentine's Day, if we decide to celebrate our birthday, if we decide to celebrate our wedding anniversary. The whole point is, I believe in making life a celebration. And sometimes you need that reminder of that one day so that you actually find time for yourself as a couple, as two people who love each other. And what I do for every Valentine's Day, even as a kid, was I would make handmade cards for my girls, the friends that I grew up with. And I make sure that I give them, wrap up heart-shaped candy in a little plastic cover and with a ribbon, and I would gift it to all my friends. So for me, Valentine's Day is not just love in terms of romantic love. Yes, romantic love in terms of friendship. That's how I see it. And I'm okay to take that one day to make sure that I make that person feel important and let them know that I love them. So I believe definitely it's not overrated.
Totally. Thank you. And we'll just take 15 to 20 seconds from each of you for your closing remarks. A strong statement. Why do you feel love is overrated? Toastmaster Richa.
Love is not overrated. the Valentine's Day that we have created, that we got that day we created is that might be overrated. But as my fellow Toastmaster Vandana said, like that is the important day where we just realize like this is the important day, and sharing some gift and some feelings with them, that might be special.
Totally. Thank you so much. And yes, I totally did not mean love is overrated. That's a slip of my tongue, but yeah. Over to you, Toastmaster Vandana, for your closing remarks.
So when was the last time that you actually said I love you to your parents, to your your friends, to your Toastmaster mentor, or your mentee? I mean, people think that I love you is something that you say to someone that you're, romantically interested, you're attracted to. Attraction and friendship and all of these, it's something that if there is someone in your life and they mean something to you, it's absolutely fine to go and tell them I love you. And, remembering to do it, maybe we need reminders, right? We're all busy, we're working, we're running, and basically we don't have time because we are glued to our screens. So taking some time off, going and meeting or picking up the phone and calling that person and letting them know they're important, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vandana and Toastmaster Richa. I did not expect such beautiful responses from both of you for this question. I kind of thought this will end up in a funny way, or maybe two of you all fighting, but it was so good, so worth it. So thank you so much. Really wonderful thoughts shared by both of you. And yes, I think we are running short of time. I so wish we could take a few more topics. But thank you so much, everyone. I think the 3 topics that we had and the speakers that we had, it was wonderful. And let's go ahead, spread love, and be kind to one another, not just in Valentine's Day and not just during the celebration days, during every single day. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much for that, Table Topics Master. It was a wonderful session, and definitely love is in the air. With your permission, I would like to share my screen. Yes. And
Nazneen, I think it is not audible. Actually, it is not audible, but
not audible.
No, it's not audible.
Okay. Oh.
Or maybe you can just explain what it is to us. Maybe
Yes.
figure it you.
Thank you so much for that, for bearing up with me for all this. And now, our last segment, that is the general evaluation segment that we are all waiting for. The speaker is a former corporate executive with over 30 years in advertising, sales and marketing, and a CSR, project education. He has worked with and trained people to discover their true potential and develop their managerial skills. He has worked in extremely competitive markets both in India and abroad. He reads and writes a little bit and provides consultancy for regional theatre, during English adaptation. Speaker has an electric interest in music and cinema. Over to you, Toastmaster Suresh, with his tag team and the evaluators. Can we have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Suresh?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. I'll start off with the timers. I think we've barely got time to finish this in time. So might I call upon the tag role takers to come on very quickly. First of all, I'll ask the timer to come and tell us how the meeting went. Your report, please. Very quickly.
Nazneen, you have to unmute yourself.
Good. Am I audible? Yes. Everyone was on time. Just one or two people, 2 seconds were more. So I think we can neglect that. Presiding officer, I mean the president, it's your call.
Right, thank you. I'll give you your feedback instantly. The timer today failed to show the cards at the beginning when the timer was explaining the role of the timer. The timer failed to display the cards as to when the green, amber, and red cards would come on. I think that's a very crucial point which should not be missed. I think we missed a trick there. Now, may I call upon the R counter who's using the Udly app. I'm not used to it myself, so I'm really very keen to see how this thing goes. Might I call upon the R counter, please?
Yes, General Evaluator Toastmaster Suresh. The Udly is doing its analysis. In the meantime, I'll give the grammarian report. So today we had wonderful usages of English language, as well as a couple of suggestions where I would recommend some changes. Some of the words that I enjoyed was Pangalossian, centenary, and some words which I wished were used differently, structures which I wish were used differently was money, whatever you earn, whatever money you earned. You know, there's a regional language influence which is coming up, and instead of olden days, which was used by somebody, maybe you could have used. I think you could have used nostalgic in that context. There were some pronunciation mistakes. I was not mistakes. It could have been enunciated better. Is the way there is pronounced THEIR. There's a inclination to pronounce it as diar, so let it be there and not diar. And also there's an inclination to pronounce al for all, so it has an O sound. So that makes us in tune with what the speaker is listening. And also there was a place where eyes is paining was used. Eyes are paining would have been better, or eyes are aching. And the word of the day, mollycoddle, wasn't used even once, but I would like you all to try it out today without fail after the meeting at least. Now let me look into the Udly report if it's ready. Actually, it's not. It's still processing. I will share the Udly report over email to all of you. It will directly be emailed to all of you.
Right. Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa, for that detailed report on the grammarian. You did what a grammarian actually ought to do. You showed us, you highlighted the errors which crept in, and you also gave us an instantaneous solution on how they could be rectified. You took the trouble to note that nobody had used the word of the day, which is mollycoddle. So all in all, very well done. So we'll wait for the R counter report. Now let's get on with the speech evaluations. And to do the first speech evaluation for Toastmaster Richa, might I call upon the evaluator, Pranav Potan. Pranav Potan, if you could get on with your report now, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Toastmaster Richa, when I heard the topic pursuit of happiness, I was quite intrigued in knowing what your speech could be. Because sometimes I thought maybe it should be connecting somewhat with the movie. But when I heard your speech, Believe me, I liked it a lot. There were a lot of points you excelled at. Firstly, the way you started, the way you introduced by giving a quote, and then you straight away asked the question. That was quite a good way to actually engage the audience. And then you are just delivering level 1 project to speech, but you took the courage to stand up and deliver the speech. That quite shows your confidence, the confidence level you have. And regarding the content of the speech, I liked your body, the way you structured the points and connected it to your life, real life incidents. And then the conclusion was also good, and you gave a good message to the audience. So overall, it was a good speech. But I have some good points where you can actually elevate your speech. I felt maybe the conclusion, you could have shortened it a bit. In that way, you could actually create more impact in the audience. Maybe you could ask a question in the conclusion, just like you asked in the introduction, because that way the audience would get intrigued a lot, right? And then some areas, like you were telling when you were concluding, you said, to conclude, I would like to say, you don't have to specifically mention that. Or if you want to start a story, don't tell I am telling a story. Just go and deliver the story like that. The audience will be mesmerized by your speech. And then I have some ways where you can actually challenge yourself. The way would be, you could, as actually I told you, the introduction and conclusion could be more concise, and you could actually deliver more intriguing instances so that audience will get engaged in that. Because even if the body is not that much intriguing, if the introduction and conclusion is good, then they will get attracted to your speech. And then some additional tips I have is that you had a very good eye contact. That was a very good thing I noticed about you, because you are just a level 1 project 2 speaker, and that you could act. Sometimes you were actually looking down also. Maybe that you could actually avoid. So that is my opinion about your speech. Overall, it was a very good speech, and I am very happy that you are delivering your project 1, project 2 speech within 2 weeks after you delivered the first speech. That is a quite good thing. So over to you, and all the best to you for your future talks. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav, for that very empathetic evaluation of Toastmaster Richa. It is not my station to comment on the speaker's presentation, because that has already been done adequately well by Toastmaster Pranav. All I've got to say is that you could have added that the speaker was speaking with the light source behind her. I think one of the fundamental things to understand in an online meeting is to speak facing a light source. So I was not able to see the speaker very clearly. And the other thing which could have been mentioned in the evaluation was that the speaker at times was a little hesitant and had probably not internalized her speech as much as she would have liked to. And there was an incongruity which I noticed when she was enumerating her points, point number 1, point number 2. When she came to point number 3, she was pointing out to point number 2. So perhaps this might have been highlighted so that the speaker could put this into use, and there could be a consonance. She could build a consonance between what was being said and what was being demonstrated. Apart from that, great speech, great evaluations. Big hand to both the speaker and the evaluator. Up next is the...
We have got evaluator for the second evaluator. That is...
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. Coming up next to do the second evaluation, the second speaker of the day was Toastmaster Deepa, and to present her evaluation, might I call upon Kritika Sopti.
Can I stop this because
distinguished Toastmaster?
Toastmaster Adarsh will be evaluating Toastmaster Pranav. That is part of the project. So
okay, this wasn't told to me. Okay, please go ahead.
Toastmaster Adarsh, the question for you is, will your first crush be your last crush?
That is a very difficult question. Will my first crush be my last crush? There are a couple of them in this room that actually know my entire biodata, to be very honest. They know the kind of situations I've been in at Toastmasters and outside of Toastmasters. Yeah, yes, I see a few smiles in the room. But then my first crush be my last crush. Well, that is almost nearly impossible because my first crush has already broken my heart.
You can go ahead with your
Back to you.
evaluation. You can go ahead with
Yes,
your
I can go ahead with the evaluation. All right. Sure, quickly push over to my evaluation and my target speaker. I hope Toastmaster Pranav is here. Toastmaster Pranav, yes, I hope you're here. All right, I'm going to quickly spotlight you. And timer, I'm starting with my evaluation. Now, the basic idea when it comes to evaluation is for you to evaluate someone on the grounds of their opening, body, and closing. That is very, very important. You're supposed to start by talking about how good that person was when they started, what did that person actually tell, and then you're supposed to push over and talk about the body of the speech. And then you're supposed to go over and talk about the closing note, where the speaker commented on the entire speech as a whole to a conclusion. And I can tell for a fact that you did all of that. And I think that's probably why you're supposed to give yourself a pat on the back. I think you were able to cover all aspects of what I was looking at when it came to that in general. I think you commented on the person's speech title, which was The Pursuit of Happiness, which is an incredible title, by the way. And I also loved the part where you were very, very observant and you spoke about the quote used by the speaker and the posture that the speaker used at the time of presenting her speech. And I also loved the part where you commented on her overall posture and her speech in general, which I like quite a lot. And I also love the part where you paid emphasis to the speaker's ability to sort of engage the audience, which I think was very, very important. But now quickly pushing over to some areas we can actually work on. Now, I think there are some areas we can truly work on. And number one, I think it's important that you don't repeat what you say. Because one thing that I did come across as part of your evaluation was that you commented on the speaker's evaluation twice. Speaker's conclusion twice. I think you started by talking about the speaker's opening, and then you pushed over to the body, and then you spoke about the closing, and then you spoke about the closing again after you spoke about the body. So maybe you can probably try to keep it as structured as possible. I think that will make a big difference. And then I also think that you didn't comment on the speaker's preparedness. I think you probably, implied that as part of your evaluation, but I think you could have probably spoken about how the speaker was not prepared enough for the speech because she was obviously looking up and down everywhere. Of course, it was an incredible speech, but I think that's something they could have commented on. And I also think that maybe you could have gone by the textbook in general, and you could have probably spoken about the vocal variety of the speaker, and maybe could have spoken about the ability of the speaker to exercise all the tools at her disposal to deliver incredible evaluation. But overall, I think that your evaluation was very positive. I think that matters quite a lot. I think when you deliver a very positive evaluation, what happens is it gives the speaker the motivation to go back and work on her next speech. I think you had a very soothing voice. I think you made a massive difference in influencing the kind of progress the speaker will be making going into the future. A round of applause to you. A round of applause to Toastmaster Richa for her incredible speech. I cannot wait to hear the both of you speak again. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Can I make a point if you don't mind?
I think we are running short of time. Can we take this offline because there will hardly be any. I think what time do we close the timer? 6:30. So yes. There will hardly be any time for me to give a general evaluation. Can we have the next evaluator, please? Distinguished Toastmaster Kritika Sopti to evaluate the next speech.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Hello, everybody. A very good evening to all of you. Toastmaster Deepa is a master speaker. She's a master orator. Some of you might know it from before, but those of you who exhibited her speech today would know it from today. There were two factors which highlighted her mastery in oration. The first, as a speaker, we are always told to connect with the audience, you start with a question. But the one thing that Toastmaster Deepa exhibited that I absolutely loved was what to do when there is no response to the question. That is where your skill as an orator comes out. And today she exhibited that. She started with the question while there was no definite response. She still included that as part of the speech and carried on without showing any outside sign of being very uncomfortable of a no response. So very well done, Toastmaster Deepa, on handling that kind of an impromptu situation. That takes your skill as an oration up notch. The second thing was your ease and your comfort while delivering the speech. You were very comfortable with the topic. You had done blogging. It was very evident because you were very confident in what you were talking about. And also your entire flow was very well paced. It came across as a conversation. And in these kind of topics, those things exhibit your self-confidence and your skill on taking the stage. So on those 2 points, I would say you are a master orator. Coming on to the blogging, I think you gave a very good background to blogging, how it started. You went on to point out what blogging can help you with in regards to there are 4 elements. It allows you reflection, it allows you discipline, it allows you joy. So those were the things that blogging can give to you. And then you also had another element in the skills you acquire while doing blogging, where you shared your personal anecdotes, be it your experience with Udly or your experience with Google Analytics. So those part as part of the project objective were covered very, very well. Other thing that I loved about your speech was the subtle humor thrown across like salt in a dish. For example, your comment on microblogging. There are still some people who like talking to people in more than 140 words. Those things came across very well, and it just adds lightness to an otherwise dreary topic. Now, the things that I would want you to improve upon immediately in regards to this speech, while you had 4 key elements on why blogging helps, you should also have reiterated them at the end, so it gives a definite conclusion to it all. Again, the 4 elements, you repeated 2 of them at the end and not all 4. So if you just repeat, it helps you close on the audience mind. The second thing would be your overall structure could have been in 3 components. Why to blog, what to blog, and what was your outreach after blogging, the result of it all. So those were the 3 things you could have done better. But overall, I think you were a master orator, and I would love to listen and see your blog further. That's it. Back to the general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Suresh.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Kritika. That was a very compelling evaluation on how to write a compelling blog. I think the distinguished Toastmasters pretty much covered everything what needed to be covered in terms of evaluation. I would have been a little, I was a little curious to know how important consistency was in blogging. Any writer worth his salt will tell you that consistency is the crux of making a blog engaging and viable. So I think the speaker missed speaking a little bit about consistency. I would have loved to see that. Anyway, outstanding speech. We all know what people can do, and an outstanding evaluation. A big hand for both the evaluator as well as the speaker. We come to the final speaker of the day. You'll have to mollycoddle with me. I know we are completely out of time, but that's not my fault. Can I call upon the third evaluator to come and give the evaluation for Toastmaster Joseph's speech? Toastmaster Kamini, if you're ready.
May I step in?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Suresh. Change is the only constant. However, certain changes are not necessarily always good. Toastmaster Joseph, your speech today on the topic, on the topic online education in schools reflected this paradox of change. It was a well-structured speech, and I would like to mention my evaluation by dividing it into 3 portions. The first portion will be of the areas where I would like to commend and applaud for you, which includes the emphasis that you brought in when you said all the children together. So that a bit of stretch with all the, and even your tone was a little louder, and I could catch that emphasis on the phrase all the. So that's a good tonal variety which you brought in where it was required. Second, you internalized your tone, stop, stop. So that again is a part of the non-verbal element, and you pretty much did a wonderful job while delivering with your non-verbal elements of the delivery. Now, you started with interaction. That again is a technique which is good in order to get your audience in the mood and kind of, set them on alert that I've got something to offer. So might as well be with me till the end. So you were aware of that. You got us into it right from the moment go. So these were the points which I would, like I said, I would like to commend. Now, a suggestion, which is my second part of the evaluation. As a suggestion, what I can offer to you is that you could have, since it's a storytelling, and I do understand it was an informational speech that you were delivering. However, there were characters, father and son. So if you could have built a little more there on the father, like what was his thought when he saw his child getting affected with the screen time and the age of the child. If you could have just a little bit more elaborated for a few seconds there, that could have made a good point there. And also, I would like to say that what you can do is, as my third part in the evaluation, I would like to recommend what you can do is you can practice your content a little bit better, because I could see that you were not maintaining your eye contact in totality throughout your speech. There were times when you were looking into your screen, and I think you can eliminate this with practice. So that will bring a flawlessness to your delivery. And also, since your topic, like I said, is such a strong topic, you could have had a better conclusion drafted. Because if you would have had a better conclusion drafted, then it would have left us with a strong message and an impact for a longer period of time. Having said all this, I would like to congratulate my speaker, Toastmaster Joseph, for delivering his project and for meeting the guidelines mentioned in the project. Thank you so much, General Evaluator, and it's back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamini. I think you two have covered pretty much everything what what Toastmaster Joseph was trying to attend as per his project objectives. One or two things which I noticed was that I felt that the Toastmasters transitions were a little jerky, and I felt that the conclusion was a little abrupt. Probably he hadn't bargained for the time and he had more to say, but when it came to the conclusion, he concluded abruptly. Apart from that, it was a very empathetic evaluation, and the Toastmaster speech was also very engaging because he dwelt on some of the burning issues on online education and the younger people spending so much of time with their gadgets. So I think I was able to identify it. It touched a chord in me. And on that speech, you've got a pretty empathetic evaluation. Very well done, both the speaker and the evaluator. Now, timer, do I have any time left for the general evaluation, or can I hand it back to you?
No, you can go ahead, sir.
I can go ahead. Okay, right. Thank you. I do my evaluation in two ways. One, what happened before the actual event and what actually transpired during this session. What I noticed before the event was that your messaging and your social media handles were very brilliantly done. Everything was up to date. I checked your Instagram handle. I think the post came up a little later. My only suggestion is that such information which you put out should come a little earlier than on the day of the meeting. Since the agenda and stuff were already decided, it would have meant a lot if this information was put up in the public domain a day or even a couple of days or 24 hours before the actual event. But hats off to you all. I follow your social media handles, your WhatsApp group and things like that. So people who are in charge of publicity have done a superb job. Your messaging is accurate and to the point. Now I'll come to what happened during the meeting. And during the meeting, we had the Sergeant at Arms. He started on the dot, which is how all meetings should start. Come hell or high water, whether the roll takers are there or not, irrespective of that, you just start the meeting on time, and that was done very well. You went through the protocols of the meeting, and you gave the president a very appropriate introduction, because the president is, after all, the chief executive of this organization, of this club, and you brought in the necessary importance to that position, and you did your introduction very well. And you actually set the tone for your meeting with your vitality and your verve. That was very well done, Toastmaster Adarsh. Then we go on to the presidential address. The president called the meeting to order. And what struck me first, right off the gate, was the warmth in your welcome. The way you welcomed everybody. I think you called out people by name, and then you had a very inspiring message about Mother Teresa. And my recommendation to you, Toastmaster Joseph, would be that since you had such a very powerful message about a person who's so well known, I would have liked you to see it align it to the central message, which is love. Love is the to the theme of love. Of course, there were enough examples of that, but I think you could have aligned it better. I think you missed a trick by not introducing the guests. I think there were quite a couple of guests here present in the meeting. They might have dropped out. Perhaps it would have been a good touch had you gone out of your way to call the guests to introduce themselves. Then we come to the Toastmaster of the day. The Toastmaster of the day started off, and she was in her elements today. She had done a lot of research. She went through it very well, and her enthusiasm and her smooth transitions was really eye-catching and very nice to watch. And she also had introductions for the role takers, which was done with a lot of warmth. I have a few suggestions, if I might. The G introduction was kept towards the end, and I thought it is the normal practice for the general evaluator to introduce the tag team, the timer, our counter, grammarian, or a listener if there is one. So I was preempted of that opportunity, but I have no complaints, because if this is the way your club does, so be it. But I think the conventional way of doing this is for the general evaluator to introduce his tag team and the evaluators. The other thing was there was a confusion about the speaking order. I was a part of your role takers WhatsApp group, and I thought I was being spammed because there was such a lot of information being put out by Toastmaster Adarsh. At every turn, his messaging was so accurate and spot on, and you could not possibly have gone wrong by who's doing what. So I think a trick was missed there by not knowing who was evaluating whom and the order of speaking. So I think a little more attention could have been paid there. Then I felt that the introduction and the questions which were asked while introducing the evaluator, I thought they were redundant. One of the fundamental things, as far as I know, I'm not going to mollycoddle here, Toastmaster of the day, or the MC, is not the star of the day. The Toastmaster of the day is merely a facilitator. The Toastmaster of the day moves the program along, brings in the speakers, shifts the focus away from themselves onto the speakers. Metaphorically speaking, it is like me inviting you to my house and I eat up all the dishes and there is nothing left for you when dinner is being served because I've eaten up everything which I had to say. So be very mindful of the time you're going to utilize, shift the focus away from yourself, put it onto the speakers because they ultimately are the stars. So be very mindful about your time. Yeah, and there was another surprise where the evaluator is being evaluated. I did not know that it was a part of the project, but that's not a big deal. And yeah, and then we come to the table topics. The table topics was very refreshing. Toastmaster Veera had already he had got everything sorted out. He had prepared very well. The questions were easy to answer, and he had little affirmations when every speaker finished speaking and they came on to speak. He endorsed whatever they said, and that I thought was a very nice touch. And he also managed to bring in a debate, which is very uncommon in table topics, and he managed it very well by setting out the time limits, and he ensured that it finished in time. And what really attracted me was his charm, his personal charm, and that smile which he had all through. I think that was really a breath of fresh air. Just one recommendation for you, Toastmaster Veera, when you get onto a subject like, or when you're hosting a topic like table topics, a word about speaking extemporaneously, because there are some guests who do not know how to do this. Just a few guidelines on how this might be done would have been very useful, I thought. And head and shoulders above all, you kept it short. I think you asked 3 questions, but included 5 speakers, and you were acutely aware of the time, which is a very, very important thing to understand in meetings, especially when it is being done online. I think I have covered pretty much everything. Have I missed anything out? Could someone tell me if I missed anyone out? Any other role takers? Well, I think that's it. I had a really good time being here with you all. I hope to come here again. And I want to thank Toastmaster Adarsh for having had me over. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for that critical feedback from Toastmaster Suresh. And definitely we will incorporate it in our future meetings. Before I hand over the stage to our president, I would like to invite DTM Kritika to speak about the coordination.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nazneen. Hello, everybody. Once again, I have, do I have the rights to share the screen? Can I do that?
Yes, I've done it. I've shared the hosting rights.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me know once you guys see my screen so I know it's visible. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it's.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. And I know you've seen my chat box 2 times, but it's okay. Okay, so I just wanted to say, when I joined Toastmasters, this was back in 2016, it all happened by chance, right? I was just in my office and there was a demo meet that had started for Toastmasters, and we were asked to attempt a table topic. And we just did that. And it was so serendipitous that the same term, our club got chartered, we became members. And as first, when a club charters, you get this opportunity. You don't need to have a contest to nominate your contestants for the first level, right? And it so happened that we had a contest, and that time there was this thing called Glitterati format, right? In Toastmasters we had for contest season. And the first time itself, I went through till the district. Now, the beauty that there was, the moment I went to the district conference, I realized what a stage it was. How much people work to be on that stage, to get in front of a crowd of 500, 600, 700 people and deliver your 5 minutes or 7 minutes, depending on what format you are in, on that stage, how much it matters, and the jittery feeling you get to take that stage to deliver a performance of a lifetime. And that is what has hooked me onto Toastmasters since the first year. And so in Toastmasters, you would often see people counting their number of years or experiences by the number of conferences. We went to the Kochi conference. You remember the Mysore conference. You remember the one at Leela Palace. That is how people measure their years in Toastmasters. And this year, we are back again to add one more feather in the District 92's journey of Toastmaster conferences with Coronation 2023. Hoping that next year people would say, were you at the Hilton conference on the 27th and 28th of May, 2023? Now, as Toastmasters, what is there that we would get on these conferences? While we'll get to witness the amazing contest, the best of the best orators of District 92 competing in the evaluation, table topic, and the international speech contest, we will crown our champions who will go on to represent us in the World Championships. We would also be witnessing our recognition and applause that each club has been working on, each member has been working on. You becoming a DTM, you becoming crowned as a district officer, all of that happens at Coronation. Along with that, we have lined up some great set of speakers. One name has already been released, the world champion of public speaking, Manoj Vasudevan, would be there for 1 day and more for us to interact with him, listen to him, and learn how to become a champion. We have workshops by storytellers. We have workshops by the Management Guru of India. We also have authors, influencers, industry leaders. And they are not just there on the stage, they are there with us. More than that, we have a chance to network and connect with 500 plus fellow Toastmasters, build those relations of a lifetime. And that is why we are here to invite the club, Speech Weavers Club at Coronation 2023. Hope you register soon and we see all of you. It's not just going to be on the stage activity, it's going to be fun, entertaining, and we will all connect together. I see so many familiar faces that I've met in the last 1-2 months that we have been on this journey. And it's a different feeling altogether to not just see each other through Zoom windows, but to actually see and talk and connect with one another. Hoping that we can build all these connections and get them together at Coronation 2023. Because we are here, if you book today your tickets, the ticket cost actually is 4,999. If you book it right now, you get it for 4,399. So I'll share the coupon code in the chat along with the registration link. All those who register can avail it at 4,399. The 2-day conference pass at Hilton, 27th and 28th of May, 2023. And as the tradition goes, before I take off the stage, I would request everybody to come on video and do the coronation symbol. I'll request others to take a picture and we'll use it. If you're there at Coronation, come find your pictures. Yes. So I request everybody.
Yes, everybody can
Thank you,
probably
Veera. Thank you, Vandana.
Okay, just 1 minute.
How are we doing this? Like,
oh, Kamini, you are new to the bandwagon. I'll tell you. Okay, here it goes. Cross your middle finger.
yeah.
And join it with your pointer finger. Opposite pointer fingers to the middle fingers. Opposite. Middle fingers and the opposite pointer fingers.
Okay, got it.
Yes,
Am I right?
Yes, Kamini, you are right. Yes, Richa. Sure. Yes, you are also right, Richa. Okay.
Can we turn on the videos? Come on, everybody. Come on, turn on your videos. I don't see Munish with his video on. I don't see Elios with his video on. Arjun, I don't see your video on. All right, then. In 3, 2, 1. We're done.
Thank you. Hope to see you at Coronation. I'll share the links in the chat. If you have any other queries, you can reach out to Adarsh. Adarsh will get those over to us. But hopefully, we'll all have a gala of a time. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster Nazneen.
Thank you so much, Kritika. I have collaborated with Nibi and things will be done smoothly. And Speech Weavers is going to rock. Thank you so much. District 92 definitely is going higher and is becoming synonymous to par excellence. All the best.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nazneen. Also, I just wanted to say we will be rolling out awards at the district level for coronation. The clubs with maximum registrations or 5+ registration would get special recognition at the coronation day by District 92. So the trackers would be out. Let's see where Speech Weavers places on those tracking missions. Back to you.
Thank you so much. And now I hand over the podium to our president, Sir Joseph Felix Benedict.
Thank you, Nazneen. We have a little difficulty in mentioning my name. It's a long name. Of course, you need a little more practice. You are a newcomer to our club. Thank you so much for cruising this entire meeting in a wonderful way. And everybody has played their roles also wonderfully, especially the table topic and also the speeches and the evaluators. I'm very much happy to know that the best evaluation that has been taken today, particularly evaluation over the evaluation. And the general evaluator, I thank him so much for giving us all that is relevant that has to be followed. And we'll definitely, sir, I will assure you that we will follow it in our next meeting as much as possible, because this time certain people have a role for the first time and they were not in continuation process of handling the situation, even though it is in the agenda. And there was a little bit of changes also. So thank you so much for each and every one of you for role taking. And I would say a very good meeting that has a great takeaway also. And I would like to say that we will definitely promote this coronation to as much as possible. And you are rest assured that Toastmaster Kritika Sokti, and you can expect so many things from as far as Speech Weavers is concerned or for the coronation.
Thank you, sir.
And all the guests, I acknowledge that I'm so sorry that in the beginning, actually, I've been given only 4 minutes. By the time I question and answer and coordinate with the speakers, I have nothing to speak anymore. So these things are restrained for the time consumption, and therefore I will not be able to do that. But sometimes I would definitely ask our guest after the meeting was over, and that's how I used to do it. And now I'm going to adjourn the meeting 718 for today. I would like to ask Manish Gupta, how do you find today? We have not taken any role today. Are you there, Manish Gupta? Toastmaster Manish Gupta is not there. Arjun Radha Chris, are you there? Toastmasters Sai Sri Shastri.
Yeah, good evening, Toastmasters, Joseph, others, and all the fellow Toastmasters. As I told you, many times I have told you, I love your meeting, especially the standard, the way you are conducting, the evaluation you are conducting, and love you spread. That is very important. And that is the only thing, because of that, I'm always willing to come here. The happy faces and full with enthusiasm of others, Deepa, it's always like that, butterflies flying on the flower, like that I'm flying on the Speech Weaver Toastmaster Club. Though I'm not from your district, not from your club, but yes, very soon I want to join you again as a guest But yes, if time permit, if everything is fine, I may plan to join you as a member too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Saishri. You are always welcome and you always adore our club. That was a wonderful thing that we adore your the words and your love and everything that you exhibit to our club. Thank you so much. You are always be in touch with us. I understand, and you express your ability to join whenever there is a time. Thank you so much for that. Is Manish Gupta there? And Arjun is not there also. So by the way, Richa Sharma, how do you like this meeting?
Been 3 weeks since I joined this group, and I'm feeling great. Like I got opportunity to give my icebreaker speech, and Adarsh, Deepa, Nazneen, and everyone is supporting. So it's been great to part of this group. Thank you, Joseph sir.
So Pranab Potan, can you tell me something about this meeting today? Pranav? Okay, I think I would end this meeting because we are all pretty close the time.
I can speak. I'm sorry, I was in the office. So yeah, it was a lovely experience. It was one of my first meeting as an evaluator, and I'm thankful for to Adarsh. He has given that good points for my evaluation, which I could work on. So very much thank you for that.
Thank you, Pranav. I think we have already crossed the limit of the time.
I think it seems Kamini wants to say something. I mean, we're already done.
Yeah, who?
Kamini, our Toastmaster Kamini wants to say something. Kamini,
okay, Kamini, you can go ahead.
I'll wrap it up quickly because Kritika is here and I don't want to miss this opportunity. So I do see, Kritika, the kind of effort and dedication and hard work that's going backstage with Coronation, because I have Toastmaster Manu from my club and I keep getting some updates from him as well, DTM Saharish and all. But you guys are on it and all the best wishes. I have 2 people from my club joining you at Coronation and I am sure it's going to be nothing less than Met Gala. It's going to be District 92 Gala, I think, for a lack of a better word. But all the very best. Enjoy those 2-3 days that you guys are working towards. And for ones like me, unfortunately, we are not from Bangalore, but we will keep you all alive in our wishes and thoughts. And yeah, it's so good to see the videos every week popping up on platforms. And that's it. And I love Speech Weavers. I mean, this is one club which I've got support always from. Others is the reason that I keep coming back here. Deepa, again, I learned so much. Now, why am I giving a vote of thanks? But okay, you may please end the meeting. I wanted to speak with Kritika. And great work, Kritika. I'm sure it's going to be a splendid event. So
Yes.
yeah, all the
Of course,
best.
it's the team. It's a team of 60-70 people who are working since last 2 months. We are kind of up against time. First time in-person coronation happening with just a stretch of 3 months. It has never been done before. It's always been 1 year in making.
But you guys are
So-
Pathan, so you guys can take it on. Like
Yes,
how
yes,
SRK can take
always.
on anything, you guys can take on. 2 mahina, 3 mahina doesn't matter. When you guys make your head on it, we go through it.
District 92 together will do it this year. No issues at all.
Okay, sorry for
Thank
hyping.
Thank you, Kamini, for that good gesture and praises for the Cornish. Others, is the voting is already done?
Yes, Joseph, so I put up, in the best interest of time, I put up the voting results on the chat. Congratulations to all the winners. You can sort of go to the chat, or maybe I can surprise you with a certificate on WhatsApp. Either way works.
Works. Yeah. I just wanted to take this one moment and thank Toastmaster Nazneen. She has been very, very helpful in the efforts towards coronation. So I wanted to personally come and congratulate her in the club and thank her and tell her how vital her contribution has been. I hope I see her at coronation and I see all of you at coronation. We will also have some great stuff lined up in terms of recognitions. I hope I can see you there and everybody can get duly recognized. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nazneen. It has been truly, truly helpful to make it that world-class event that you want us to be.
It's my
Let us
pleasure.
give a great applause to Nazneen for that wonderful help for the congregation.
Thank you so